But how do you make sure a lot of, when we give these issues to, same thing like Terry has done this many times and we've done, इसमें पैसा नहीं है. But people don't look at it as an engineering problem, rather than look at, okay, it's a social काम है. How do you break that? Why? How can we get back the interest of solving issues into students? And that's where the true innovation lies. Not at the time they have already changed their mindset, been in the corporates. The innovations of any America or any other place which is innovative is because it starts right at the student level. And that's what we lack. Please, that's for you. I'll speak loudly, I think people can hear. Professor, enough.
I actually think about this a lot. It bothers me strangely because it lies at the very heart of the meaning of my life. Because I teach, and so if the students are useless or uncaring or uninterested, or if they are in fact not interested in engineering, then we are running a 4-year management program with very big physics labs, which is really bad. It's a waste. And I think about it a lot. And one of the things that I will now repeat ideas that are actually from Professor Milind Soni of IIT Bombay, but he says, in India, almost all education is for escape. So the village kid is studying because he wants to go to the town kid is studying because he wants to go to the city kid wants to go to Harvard. All civil engineers are, not all, when I say the median, out of 100, 70 civil engineering students are studying civil engineering with the following views. One, damn, I didn't get a different department, so I have to study civil. Two, those of my seniors who are doing well had to put in 2 really hard years in the field. I wish I didn't have to do that. But luckily, the software jobs and the consulting jobs are still hiring from civil, so I should work on my coding skills. This is another problem. The IIT system is filled with students, undergraduate students, who are sort of burnt out. The median IIT undergraduate student actually thinks that his life's greatest intellectual achievement is now behind him. Not much more should be expected. And when they come in and they find that JEE is actually a sort of pointless exercise in high-speed trivial accuracy. Yes? When they realize that above them there is one layer, above that there is another layer, there is just no end to how much they can learn and master, they get depressed and claim they are uninterested in engineering. But there is a far bigger animal, I'm sorry, I will stop my speech. There is a far bigger animal, which is that our engineering syllabus actually has no contract with our own society.
That's a great. Gopi, please intervene if people have questions and comments on how do we bring in, yes, energy efficiency is a topic, but as you know, in the last 20 years, we've done very little.
See,
anyway.
I think it is, at some level, very simplistic to go back to schools and colleges. I think it is start with people first, because I think we can't absolve the society at large. It starts at parenting. How resource sensitive are we as parents? Because I think going back to school and college is one part of the problem. We need to go back as parents. Do we switch off the lights? Do we save water? It needs to start there. I think resource sensitivity, if I draw a hierarchy of resource sensitivity, India would be the least. We have no sensitivity towards resources.
But how do you get that? For example, why do you wear a seat belt? It's not because you're going to get killed, because the police is going to catch you, right?
Yeah.
Our mentality is different unless there's a hard law. So how do you bring that?
Yeah, so maybe I can.
So it turns out I'm also from Kharagpur, but I have a little different viewpoint than you have. And I'm not as bleak as you made you kind of sat the energy down. So I'm going to lift it back a little back again. And I do a lot of work with startups. And I can tell you that the average 20-year-old has a 10 times more hope about the future, his future, the country's future, his ability to build products for the connected and the disconnected Indian than I had 30 years ago. So we are on the up. So the first thing is we are on the up. What has happened is that a lot of the tools, especially in the technology sector, have liberated our thinking ability significantly. People can do innovation at a very, very low cost today, especially in the tech side. Slowly, I believe that this will start sifting down into some of the other traditional engineering activities. The traditional engineering activities, manufacturing, electrical engineering, power engineering, chemical engineering, they're dominated by capital. And capital in our country is dominated by cronies and corruption. That is the single biggest problem that is keeping us down. If the cost of that innovation gets reduced to a level where a 20-year-old kid from any college, whether it is MSIT or whether it is IIT or non-IIT, can go and innovate. If a laborer, a rickshawala guy who can make a flying engine in Dimapur or some northeastern plain, we have enough brains in the country to do this. We just need to create the system for them to lower the cost of innovation. The example that you mentioned of these two boys who didn't do the thresher activity well, actually I fault it as a leadership problem. It is not the problem of those two boys because they probably have not been sensitized. The leader of that community, perhaps you in this case, should have been stepping in and saying, no, the welder is part of your team from day one. Because it's your responsibility and our responsibility as leaders to set those examples. So that's my difference of opinion.